Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug. Long boys blues, 1975.
Welcome to another ZX Spectrum versus Commodore 64 comparison video. As I like to call it, Playground Wars. In this video we're taking a look at this game, Barbarian. Although if you look at the box art, it's actually called Barbarian the Ultimate Warrior, which obviously you would not know looking at that rather gimpy picture. However, if you bought it on the Commodore 64 in North America, where it was released by Epix and not Palace Software, who made the game and released it in the United Kingdom, it was called Death Sword. You know those swords, they're like death and stuff. Basically it's a one-on-one fighter, and you know you can play it two-player, and it caused a lot of controversy back in the day, but we'll get into that. Anyway, this was released on excuse me, all the Death Swords do that to my throat, all the usual suspects: Amiga, Atari ST, Apple, BBC, Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore. Amstrad's probably the best 8-bit version, but we're here to compare the systems that we always fought over at my school, and that would be ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64. Now, basically, in this game, you play the role of an unknown barbarian, and the town, or the jeweled city, yeah, not much went into this story, the jeweled city is going to be taken over and destroyed by an evil sorcerer called Drax, unless they hand over the princess Mariana. However, he said if you can defeat all his demon, gladiators, then, well, he won't destroy the city and you can have your bird back. Now, basically, the unknown barbarian, him, is actually a wolf from the United Kingdom version of Gladiators. Seriously, look up the box art. I'm not joshing. Who later on, I think he emigrated to New Zealand, is now currently a fireman. Cool. And the bird you've got to rescue, Princess Mariana, is the page 3 model, page 3 topless model, what's her name? Maria Whittaker. Now, the reason the game caused so much controversy is the box art, which is incredibly tame to be fair by today's standards, is got Wolf from Gladiators standing over Maria Whittaker with his massive sword out. And she's there in a bikini holding his leg. I guess you could argue, well, it's more like a go-go girl picture. But yeah, all the parent groups went absolutely batshit crazy and said, oh my god, it's going to destroy my boy's mind. And, it's sending out the wrong image, of men towards women and shit like that. None of them actually cared that in the game you cut 2 tons of shit out of each other, and you can actually decapitate the bad guy, which I'm going to try and do because it's really, 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 really satisfying. But no, they all just went batshit crazy over the cover art. Look it up. Just type in Barbarian the Ultimate Warrior, Google Images, and you'll see it. Unless you're old like me and you remember it in the magazines and you've already basically burned it into your memory. Anyway, yeah, so this was quite an expensive game, and it got really, really good reviews in all the Spectrum magazines, and there's not such a good sequel where you can actually play. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up at that point, and you can actually play as Maria Whittaker, and that's got even more controversial cover. But you're not here for that. You're here to kick 2 tons of shit out of people. Now, I can hear people immediately, and I can kind of understand why, because the Commodore 64 version is technically far more impressive, saying it's the Commodore. Absolutely is the Commodore, no question about it. But gonna, obviously try and chuck in my 2 pence, but as always, taste is subjective, and it's ultimately down to you. Let's get into it. What is it? Enter. This is the 40. Look at that, stunning. The 48K version. So this is the extent of your music. And there won't be any music in game, but there will be very limited choppy noises. Anyway, we're going to play it on, you had to load side B or side 2 to be able to fight your mate. But the fact that, it was a one-on-one fighter, and the first proper one-on-one weapon fighter, shall I say, on the Spectrum, was really, really impressive. I mean, there was that game Gladiator, which was pants, and there was Fighting Warrior, but that was also pants. Anyway, 1 player. So yeah, obviously this is side 1. We're going to go with Kempston because we're going to play the Commodore version on joysticks as well. So, and there's only 1 fire button, so to kind of keep it, fair for comparison reasons. And then 0 start game. So here we go. Right, that's Drax top in the middle. I'm on the left, the other bloke's on the right. The circles above the snakes represent our health. Now forward, down and right means you roll or you kick. Forward and fire means you chop to waist level. Up and chop means you chin, and sometimes you do a sword move. So it's a bit limited, but let's get some space. If you press that, look at that, boom, back and left, and you do that amazing jump, sword, roundhouse, chop, head, decapitate thing. I don't know. Anyway, now Drax looks like Nosferatu. The bird on the right, Princess Mariana. So for all the controversy of this game, that's what she looks like in the game. So all the parent groups, seriously, stop your whining, even though it's not 1987 anymore. Come on. This is what I did as a kid. I was so obsessed with chopping his head off because it looked so cool. That's all I kept doing. The animation is superb. I didn't properly catch him on the neck. That's why I did it then. Yeah, now animation's absolutely superb, and that's one thing I want you to bear in mind when we look at the Commodore version, as is the definition of the sprites. Because look, obviously you got your standard hide behind attribute clash tricks and stuff like that, so it's lacking colour. I think this looks stunning, but the detail and the sharpness of the sprites, oh look at that, is amazeballs. I mean, what else at this point had animation this good? Oh my, granted, slightly better. Beware the Exploding Fist. Fighting Warrior, I don't know, after Exploding Fist, I felt that Melbourne House kind of missed a trick there with what they could have done as a weapon game. And Gladiator was a good game, but it, you know, sure was no barn. Point to that quote. Right. Oh, look, he's winning on health. Right. That's why I like Decapitate. That's a Mega Drive game, because it meant regardless of the health. See, that doesn't take any health. It just knocks them down. But yeah, regardless of the health, you could you know, take them out with one clean hit. So as fucked as you were being at that point, you could, you know, you felt like you had a chance. That's it. So I got to the second round. How many rounds there are, I honestly don't know. So, you know, not amazing sound effects. Obviously poor music that doesn't exist in the game, but we can both agree, like there's only two of us. Maybe there are only two of us who are going to watch this. That the animation is superb. Absolutely superb. And the controls are uber tight. No, gonna try and... I'm not sure I know how to do that. See, sometimes you get a chance, and sometimes he just comes out like a bat out of fucking batshit crazy hellland. It's the place, just down the M4 south. Seriously, look it up. Yeah, that's my... We've resorted to desperation so far, or immediately. Look at his health. He knows what I'm going to do. He's not stupid. See, look, you can parry. I don't know. I didn't even look it up on World of Spectrum after I downloaded the ROM, what you can actually do to get the moves, because you can parry to some degree your opponent's strikes. Basically sword fight, repel, if you will, not just do me, which is, okay. Hey, what's that over there? See what I did there? What you do is you press the attack, so do that, and then, I don't know why he's doing the kick and not, I mean, I am playing this on a joystick. It would probably be a lot better on the keys, because I'm a keyboard man. Does that take his health? I don't know. I'm going to take your noggin, mate. Stop fighting it. See, there's also, some blows are just kind of counteract the other ones, or cancel them out, I should say. Go cheap, go cheap. Yeah, I'm just doing this. Then we're going to roll back. I just worked out what that is. Backwards, down and left is that one. Oh, that's a nice little touch though. He's just chopped the shite out of me, then he kicks my head, and one of his little goblin dudes comes and drags, well, me away. Well, despite my amazing first round fight on this, I'm pretty pants, but we're going to persevere for one more on the joystick, because that's how I'll be playing it on Commodore 64. Roll! Like I said, it's about pressing the attack, but sometimes the controls are reasonably tight, but sometimes they just don't want to do what you want them to do. There you go, up left is parry. You wouldn't know it was doing anything, though, would you? Get down, get down! Yoink! It's funny, but before I was actually filming, I decapitated the bastard twice. Honest, governor, honest! Oh, they both at the same time, so it cancelled each other out. Stand up, you fucker, and get your head off. I'm Duncan MacLeod with a Clan MacLeod. I'm like the poor Highlander. Yeah, I would definitely say play it on keys. Hey! That's all I want to do. Now I'm happy. Look at that, he raises his hand. I'm Wolf. I played such an annoying badass in the Gladiators, but everyone still hated me. They all liked that bird Jet, because she was lovely. Look it up. In fact, didn't he come back a few years ago? Maybe like literally 8 years ago? I don't know. Then he went back to being a fireman. You see, the thing is, he had to put, as a fireman, he'd have to put out Maria Whittaker because she was hot. See what I did there? Seriously, look up the box art. I'm getting my ass kicked. Ah. I still think this is really good graphics. Still some of the best sort of animated fighting graphics on the ZX Spectrum. Ignore the fact that I'm shit at it. Anyway, let's take a look at the Commodore 64 version. So here we go with Barbarian on the Commodore 64. Now basically it starts on this title screen and gives you a demo, which is a nice touch. I would have preferred an actual proper sort of title loading screen image like Spectrum, but that's me splitting hairs. And as you can see, it's got loads more colour as you would expect. Now before everyone jumps in and goes straight away, I'm calling this now Barbarian on the Commodore 64 wins. I'm going to point this out that ultimately the the gameplay on both of them is pretty much exactly the same. They both play pretty much exactly the same, so whether that's a good or bad thing comes down to your choice of keys or joystick, as you just saw on the Spectrum. Sometimes it does exactly what you want, sometimes it can be a little bit clunky. Now obviously this is going to have music that's way superior to the Spectrum music because it's got a SID chip, although not a lot of it, and obviously the Spectrum was the 48K version, so it was running through the beeper. Now you can have sound effects or music, I believe. I forget how you do it because the reason I've only just done this comparison video is I could never work out how to start this on the Commodore version before, and that goes for my Commodore 64 Mini. But because for some reason the Commodore's got a Woody for starting games with a function key, so F7 will start the game. Now there we go, 2-player or 1-player. I'm assuming that it loads on the same side of the tape to allow you to do that, and your health is on either side for each of the fighters above your massive snake. I know. Right, so then if we press, is it F2? No, that changes it to, again, there's one for, there you go, F3 for music, F3 for not music, for no music, right, and then F7 starts. So yeah, let's get into it, and I'm probably going to suck balls at this, but there you go. Right, so different backgrounds I believe, but basically, now, like I said, the moves are the same, the animation is the same, but your characters are coloured, you know, properly coloured in, and the bloke you're fighting is wearing a vest, just to make it that much easier for you to see the difference. That's cool. That feels very Highlander. Get back. But yeah, as you see, it plays exactly the same. Oh, he ducked at the last minute. And so yeah, I'm going to say this is just me. I mean, taste is subjective, that's the whole point we do this, but this is what I used to argue back in the day as a kid, which is, I like my Barbarian to look like a barbarian, i.e. ripped to fuck like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're nicely animated, these ones, they don't look terrible. Obviously, the Spectrum is just, it's monochromic, but I just think the Spectrum characters look better. I'm not saying amazingly better, but they certainly are more defined. Hey! Got your head. Hey! I don't know why that's so amazing, but that's really amazing. So yeah, like I said, that's why we do these comparison videos. Ultimately, from a gameplay perspective, they're exactly the same. Same moves, Same sort of, you know, sometimes it's a bit stuttery, sometimes you get everything in it. Look, he's upgraded to green. But it's just a presentation thing, and this is what I meant at the start of this video when I said everyone's going to go on about colour, you know, like, oh, the colour, this wins because look how much more colourful it is and stuff like that. Well, hey, I've got to stop doing that font. It's at the expense of definition, so, which is one of the things about Spectrum versus Commodore. You know, I know there'll be people out there screaming at the TV right now, but all their computers, but that's why some of us, you know, prefer Spectrum over Commodore on certain games that can be compared, you know, so closely such as this, because we like that sharpness. Okay, have you seen what I've resorted to now? Oh, hang on. He seems to be a little less, I don't know, he's not as gunning for me. He's the Spectrum version. Gunning for me is not the correct descriptive term when we're using swords. He's not as much choppering for me as the Spectrum version. Thing is, though, I keep doing that, but I can get caught as well. You've got 6 healths in this one, though. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Oh, look, he's lost his vest, I just realised. Knock him down. Knock him down. Hit the one in the middle. Can't do it close. Oh! This is what I mean when you kind of get stuck in that. What I said is the AI is great. No, but you do sometimes just get stuck in barrel rolls. But yeah, you know what? I'm not going to lie though. This is a very, very graphically impressive game. Much like I said on the Spectrum version, it's no way of the exploding fist. That's him, isn't it? Because we somehow flipped. Alright, I'm confused. How do we flip like that? Yeah, but that, oh, there you go, see? Yeah, so, you know, this is still a really, really impressive game. It's no Way of the Exploding Fist, nor is the Spectrum version as good as the Way of the Exploding Fist port. But, that's the demo. There we go. It's a damn impressive game. I don't know, it's quite difficult to call, because, like I said, from a gameplay perspective, and normally gameplay is where these things count, they're exactly the same. They really are identical. I'd love to know what you think on that front. But from a graphic perspective, take the colours out of it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just think the Spectrum's got sharper, better sprites. That's me, anyway. Hey, I would definitely say this is a smidge easier than the Spectrum version. But yeah, so there we go. We'll just carry on till I die. But I'd love to know what you think. I'm going to call it. I personally, and by the way, and I'll say this, but these are Spectrum versus Commodore comparison videos. The Amstrad wipes the floor with this. I mean, obviously the Amiga and Atari ST do, but they're 16-bit computers. We're talking 8-bit kids here. But yeah, gameplay exactly the same. But I personally think the Spectrum version, graphically, you know, obviously without colours, is just. It's just better looking. Cue everyone to disagree with me and go mental. You lucky son bitch. Come on. It's timing is what it is. And I'm rubbish at it. That's why he can beat me on both of these versions and get his blows in first. Hey, well, I'm going to call it quits. This is definitely easier. I personally think the Spectrum version, lack of, you know, decent music and decent sound effects aside, and colour, I think it's just a better looking game. I like the fact that the sprites are so sharp and so detailed. But as always, this is, you know, what do you think? And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. And P.S. don't forget to look at the box art if you're from outside the United Kingdom. You'll thank me.